Hello, welcome to Real Opinions. We're going to attempt a slightly shorter review today.
Of Inherent Vice, because that makes total sense.
A 2.5 hour
yeah.
long Paul Thomas Anderson film. Yeah. Right, should we try and discuss the plot?
We'll try.
We'll try.
I know some things happen, and it's set in the 70s.
Joaquin Phoenix is a private detective.
He is that is true.
He's a private detective. He gets given one case that ends up being 3 cases.
Is it 3? I'm not going to attempt to count.
There are a number of cases
involving things from neo-Nazis
to drugs,
to
brothels, and murdered people and
dentists.
There's a whole lot of
there's a lot going on, and I'm not even sure if half of it's connected. By the time you reach the end,
but ultimately it doesn't really matter. I don't think.
Yeah, I think that. I don't know if it doesn't matter, but I think that that's what it's trying to. Its point is that it doesn't matter.
It's a bizarre film. Let's just leave it at that.
It's a very bizarre film.
But very, very stylish.
I think I love the style.
That's
one of my favourite things about it.
The major selling point of the film.
Because I love all of that kind of like camp, over-the-top 70s fashion and 70s style.
Josh Brolin is also in this film. I think he's my favourite thing about this film. Because I feel like this is probably the most character-driven Paul Thomas Anderson film there is. Other than, I mean, you could argue There Will Be Blood is kind of purely character.
I think that's more like thematically driven, like they're characters that represent broader themes, whereas in Inherent Vice they are just characters that are characters.
And they're like caricatures of whoever they are, And like Josh Brolin, he plays this detective, Bigfoot Bjornson. And the lines he comes out with are phenomenal. Yeah. He has some of the best jokes.
There are a lot of times in this film where I laughed. Like, I properly laughed.
Yeah.
2 of the ones that I remember specifically were in the trailer, though.
Really?
My favourite one is that one where he gets punched and then kind of does that as he falls down.
Every time I saw Josh Brolin with a banana in this film, I could not help but giggle.
Yeah.
There are some really kind of like juvenile laughs as well. But it's all part of the fun.
So the performances are good. The script is really good.
I'd say the performances are beyond good, and I'd say the script's beyond good.
Yeah.
The script is nominated for an Oscar, and it's in the
in terms of it's adapted. And I think in terms of dialogue, the script is really good.
It's phenomenal.
I'm not sure if it's that good in other aspects in terms of like its structure and how it all adds together. In terms of dialogue and the individual scenes within the film, the script is really good. And that's sort of, I think, makes sense to the whole film, is that every sort of individual part of it is really good.
They just don't add up to anything. Yeah, there are kind of strands of plot that you kind of pick up on and eventually go like, that makes sense there and that makes sense there. Ultimately, I don't think it really matters that much though, because overall, I can say that I really enjoyed the film. Like, I came out thinking that's probably the most fun I've had with a Paul Thomas Anderson movie ever. Yeah,
it's also the most frustrated that I've
been. That's
the
thing. I wasn't frustrated because I switched off from trying to engage with it after a while and just enjoyed the silly lines and the kind of clever wordplay and stuff. Because I knew going in that it's an adaptation of a Thomas Pynchon novel.
Of a book that's notoriously dense by a director who makes notoriously dense films.
So,
about stoners.
Yeah.
So that was sort of, if I had to pick my main problem with it, it's that it kind of wanted to be a laid-back, sort of like Big Lebowski kind of meandering, sort of fun drug film, but it also is really dense and complicated.
Packed too much in,
it's like trying to mix the Big Lebowski with Chinatown, and it's really weird, and they don't kind of fit together. I would go like a 7.
7? I would go with an 8, I think.
Yeah.
It's messy and weird and bizarre, but very, very funny and a lot of fun. So.